click record. All right, hello beautiful humans. I'm so excited to see your face. I freaking miss you guys, and I'm so grateful to see your face through all of this craziness because you guys literally keep me sane. I'm literally sitting in my empty room with just my bed. We still got to move that tonight, so wish me luck. But it is already the 11th of August. And we are getting into this month, but we still got to be showing up no matter what is going on in your life, because that's where we really build the trust with people. You know, people don't want you to be perfect, but they also want to show you that you also need to show them that you're showing up no matter freaking what. You're proving to them that they're capable of it too, even when life is super crazy. So I'm going to share my screen. We're going to jump right in. All right, let me close this little thing. All right, so we got some names up on the board. I will shout out Success Club first. So with oh my gosh, guys, words. Changing a life already this month. We have Erica, Courtney, and Sam. So shout out to you guys. And then changing 2 lives already. Shout out to Amanda, Kaylee, and myself. Freaking awesome. Like I said, it's the 11th, so we're just getting started. But I know that I am having my next boot camp round start the 26th, so prep week will be next week. So this week my ass is inviting like crazy. Even with the craziness, my ass is inviting every single day. So make sure that you are on it. You know when you're starting your next boot camp so that you can be inviting to it and talking about it and talking why you're excited and why people should be excited too, and really talking through those objections. But I want to shout out our top recruiters, Sam and myself, and then our top 5 PV. And what this means is personal volume. So that is anything that you sell to your new coaches or your new challengers. So that is just all of the volume coming from whatever they're ordering. So on top of the board, we have Livy, we have Sam, Kaylee, myself, and Abby, which is so awesome. And then our coach of the week is Amanda this week, and she is so freaking deserving of this. She is one of Courtney's new coaches, and she is just running with it. She is showing up on her stories, and I'm just super extra proud because I think it was maybe 2 weeks ago. I don't know, my time is kind of all over the place, but I saw Courtney post about her, and so I went and reached out to her, and I just started seeing her posts and seeing her stories, and I dared her. I was like, girl, I want to see you talking on your stories. And literally the next day she was on her stories talking, and I love that. Coachable coaches are the ones that are successful. They're the ones at the top of the top because they always want to learn and they take freaking action, and that is the biggest thing. So shout out to you, Amanda. I'm so proud of you, and you've already changed 2 lives, so let's get you to Success Club. And shout out to Courtney, because as her leader, you are just showing by example. And also, just a little tip, guys, as you start to grow your teams, I talk about this all the time, but we do this for the community. And so it goes me, Livy, Courtney, and then Amanda. So Amanda's not my personally sponsored coach, but I want her to be freaking successful in this, and I want us to all have that community. So reach out to other people on the team. It's not just your personally sponsored coaches. Okay. Jump down into announcements. Guys, they are the same as last week, so I'm not going to spend too much time on them because I really want Aleysha to be able to just take over. So make sure you're just in your online office and checking on the breaking news, little tab. 3-day refresh, 10% off, and $10 off Beachbody Recover, which is amazing. You should definitely be pushing that to all of your new people. Collagen, Beachbody apparel, you still have your promo codes. And then this stuff is a little bit further, but pumpkin spice is coming up soon in just a couple more weeks, and I am hyped. Guys, if you haven't tried it yet, if you weren't a coach or whatever, when it first came out, the shit sold out. Excuse me. No, don't excuse me. I always swear, but if there's children. But seriously, it's so good. It sold out in 1 day. I didn't even get any because it literally went that fast. My friend Megan ordered 7 boxes of it and ended up sending me one, which was so amazing of her, but it is delicious. So once that gets a little bit closer, you can also talk about it on your stories, because we all know white girls love pumpkin spice. But our speaker tonight, I'm so excited to have, is Aleysha. She is one of Livy's Rockstar coaches. She's been coaching for a little while now. I'll have her share a little bit more of her story, but obviously this is like changed her life drastically. She has a kick-ass transformation, one of the best I've like ever seen. And I want to especially shout her out because on our one-on-one call, Alysha's like really good about scheduling them with me, and I love that because I love being able to talk like about her specific goals, how her business is going, and she is one of the most like organized and just ready for when she's at the top of the network because she is just so like planner organized, not me, but just amazing. Like all of the stuff she creates is beautiful. And I just love talking with her. And I was going to say on our one-on-one that we had last week, I just felt a totally different energy from her. It was like, I feel confident. I know that success is coming. I'm just doing the daily things and I'm really pushing myself outside my comfort zone. And that's why I had to ask her to speak. And she just has some really awesome content. So I am excited for her to jump right in and share with us. So I'm going to stop my share, and then I think I can give you, I think I can like make you the host. Yes. And then you should be able to share.
Hey guys.
Hello.
Ooh, yeah.
There we go.
Share. Okay, share my screen. Give me one sec, guys. I'm just going to share this. All right. Can you guys see my desktop? Yay. All right. Awesome. So, first of all, it's my first ever team call, so I'm super duper excited. I love public speaking, so just going to jump right in. As Maddie said, I've had quite a transformation, so I'm going to talk about that for a few minutes, and then I'll jump right into honing down who your ideal client is and creating content that speaks to him or her. So the first picture here, you guys are going to see all these transformation pictures because I'm super proud of them. So the first picture here is actually before I started Beachbody. I lost 50 pounds after I became a vegetarian and I started running. However, I hated running. It's literally the worst. And my mindset was in the worst place possible. Like, you guys, I ran 7 kilometers with a kidney stone. That's where my mindset was at. And that, first of all, don't do that. You're going to end up in an emergency room because it hurts. But that's the kind of mindset I had, is I just wanted more and more and more. And it was just never good enough. As it's not very surprising, after that, I got really sick. And I couldn't run anymore. And then my mindset was kind of just like, if I can't have what I really want, I'm just going to let it all go. So my nutrition went, my working out went, and I didn't do anything. And I gained back 30 pounds, which was like heartbreaking. Then I met Livy at college, and she was always eating out of color coding containers in the library. So one day I sucked it up and I asked for help, which isn't something I usually do. And I started with Beachbody. And this past year and a half, I've lost those 30 pounds and a little bit more. So this is kind of like my final transformation. On the left here is since Beachbody, and then on the right is my entire like 50-some pound transformation since my start. So I've really got that like personal journey that I can show my clients, but you don't need to have an already like 50-pound weight loss for people to really feel your content and really want to work with you. You just need to build a connection with them, and that's what we're going to talk about today. So I recently took a course with Michelle Lynn Media, and it was amazing. So I wanted to share with you guys kind of something that I learned. So why is knowing who your ideal client is so important? So if you know who your ideal client is, you know who you're talking to, and you can change your wording in your stories, in your posts, in your invites to something that they're going to connect with. My kind of people aren't going to connect with a "hey girl" message, because I personally wouldn't connect with that either. And if you know who your ideal client is, you can niche down your content. You can get super duper detailed in your post to where someone who's scrolling Instagram reads your post and they're going to be like, that is me. I relate to that, because if you're so broad, nobody is going to relate to that. I know it's super duper kind of like in my mindset, or when I started coaching, that if I threw out a bigger net, if this was for everyone, I was going to catch someone, right? But the thing is, if you're trying to apply, if you're trying to just catch anyone, you're not speaking to anyone. No one's going to relate if you're just being so vague and so open. Nobody's going to say that's me, and no one's going to, feel your content. No one's going to say, I can do what she did. And that's really what we're going for. So your ideal client, what you really want to know is, what are their pain points? How can you relate to them? And how can what you're doing work for them? So some of the questions, and I'll post these in Team Excelsior later so you guys can have them, that you want to ask is, what are some qualities and characteristics that you appreciate in your ideal client? And now you can look back at clients that you have and that you love, or you can actually imagine your ideal client and say, what is it about that client that I really love and that I really appreciate? What kind of desires or what kind of goals is your ideal client working on? Now, everyone has the same goals. For example, my clients, their goals is massive weight loss. Maybe Maddie's clients aren't the same because her story wasn't the same, so she might not be reaching out to the people that have the same goals that my clients would have. What are your clients feeling before they're working with you? What are they feeling mentally, emotionally? What are they struggling with? And what is causing their problem? It's not always that simple. What happens if their problem goes unsolved? So what happens, think of your clients, or even think of yourself. What would happen to you if you hadn't started with your journey? Where would you be at right now? If I hadn't started, a year and a half ago, I'd probably be even more overweight right now. I'd probably be unhappier and probably be still, be running 7Ks with a kidney stone. What results can you get your dream clients? And don't be afraid to be super cocky and super confident with your results. Like, I'm going to confidently tell my clients, I can help you lose 50 pounds. Like, I have no doubt in my mind that I can help them. So don't have any doubt in your mind that you can help them achieve their goals. And lastly, what are the benefits that they're going to have from achieving these results? The benefits from weight loss aren't just weight loss. There's so many more benefits. So I want to show you guys kind of an example of how to apply these questions to your ideal client. So for those of you who don't know me, I work security at Target. So I work in the retail industry. My ideal client is someone who works in the retail industry because I can relate to them and I can relate to their pain points super duper well. So how are my clients, what was the first question? What qualities or characteristics do my clients have? So my clients, they're passionate, but they're feeling overwhelmed, they're feeling defeated, and they've given up, because that's who I was a year and a half ago. What are my clients' goals? Is to lose weight. What was life like before they're working with me? What are they feeling and what are their struggles? So the struggles of my ideal client is that they cannot get into a routine. Their work schedule is all over the place because they're not working a 9 to 5, and they have all this break room food. They have grocery stores where they can just buy foods, or they work in malls with food courts, and there's just so much temptation to face every single day. So some of their pain points would be their work schedule, temptation, and lack of knowledge. What happens if they don't work with me? They're going to continue their unhappy and unhealthy ways. What can I do to help them? I can help them create a routine that fits in with their crazy schedule. I can teach them how to prioritize their goals over short-term gratification. And lastly, what are their benefits of working with me? They're going to lose weight. They're going to have more energy. They're going to be happier. They're going to have mental energy. So now that you've imagined your ideal client, and you might have to write down these answers a couple times and get really detailed. It took me probably 4 weeks to really hone down who my ideal client was, because I was stuck in who I was when I started versus who I am now. So I kept reaching out to college students because that's who I was when I started. But college students aren't going to relate to me anymore because I've been away from college for some time now. It's like I'm the weird kid hanging out at the high school after graduation. So now that you know who your ideal client is, You want to create posts that are super duper detailed and that your client is going to relate to. You want to hit all of their pain points, and don't be afraid to say who this is not for. For example, if there's a 30-year-old mom with 3 kids, they're not going to look at me and say, I can do what she's doing, because their schedule's different, she's got different priorities, she's got different responsibilities, and that's okay. So if I can say in my thing, hey, this isn't for moms, or hey, this isn't for, XYZ, don't be afraid to really hone down and say, this is who I want in my groups. And then speak directly to your client, literally in your posts, because if you were speaking to a person. So I'm going to show you some examples of content that speaks to my ideal client. So that speaks to that retail person. So this is a post that I posted this past week. And as you can see, I really hit the pain points. I said the unpredictable schedule. I hit on the break room food, because the guys, Target has like literally cupcakes in their break room every single day. Like literally just a free-for-all cupcake fest. You've got grocery store. I can buy ice cream on my break. Like that doesn't happen to someone who works in an office. So those are pain points that I've personally felt, and that I know my clients are going to feel as well. I'm always running out the door because I always forget what my schedule is like. And most people who work in retail aren't making bank. So I can relate to that as well. And so these are some of my stories that I post throughout the day. I can show, hey, this is what Target's break room looks like, and this is all the junk food that they're stocking up for us. So now I want to show you guys, and here's where I'm going to nerd out, because like Maddie said, I am like the most organized person ever. I color code my entire life. So I wanted to show you guys some quick little tips to plan and schedule your content. And please don't be overwhelmed by what you're about to see, because it looks really crazy and colorful, but I promise you it is super duper simple. So first of all, these are the tools that I use. So I use a calendar. I use Google Sheets, which is just an Excel document, and I use an app called Plannerly, and I use both the app and the desktop version, which is free, by the way. You can upload 30 pictures a month for free and then schedule them to post to your Instagram whenever you'd like. So the first step in my content is I make a monthly marketing plan, kind of how you I know Ashley does it live every month, so I do something similar to what she does. What you want to know in your monthly marketing plan is, what are you going to invite and promote to? What pain points are you going to be hitting? And really think big picture. So this is what my monthly marketing plan looked like for this month. Super simple. I say each week what I'm going to be focusing on. So this past week, I ran a $30 promotion, which was just the containers and the meal guide. Together, they're like $30. These next 2 weeks, I'm going to be focusing on another Meltdown 100 group, because that's starting on the 26th. Then the rest of the week on the 26th, I'm going to throw in a little energized promo. So as you can see, I have big topics that I'm then going to break down so that my content flows nicely. And because I write all of my content ahead of time, it's going to flow nicely, and it's not just going to be like a random post here and a random post there, and people aren't going to read it and be like, what is she talking about? Also, what I do every single week when I come up with my post, so I schedule my whole month, but then I write my post every Sunday. Just sit down at my desk for like an hour and just write out all of my posts, so I don't have to worry like Monday at 3 p.m., oh my God, did I post today? And these are the 5 types of posts that I do every single week. I do an educational post, 3 tips to budget on a meal plan, 5 ways to increase your mindset. Really simple things. And I'm not like researching things, just literally things I do in my own life that could be a tip for someone else. Energize break, guys. Then I do an aspirational post. So every single week I do a post that's going to talk about my story, and every single week I put a transformation picture on there, because they get like 3 times the attention than any other post does. And then I have an offer, and an offer doesn't always have to be a boot camp. It can be a free group. It can be a product such as Energize. It can, be a free consultation. It can be a discovery call, whatever you want. But 1 post a week, usually 2, I have an offer. an elevation post. And these are super duper important because people can watch you all day long, but if they don't believe that they can do what you do, they're not going to reach out or they're not going to respond. So in my elevation post is where I really hit at the details and say, okay, if you are struggling with this, this, and this, you can do what I'm doing. And then a behind the scenes post, so maybe like a coaching post, or like me meal prepping with my containers or anything like that, kind of like the behind the scenes life. So maybe a post about running my first team call, something fun like that, and it kind of shows people, you know, you're a real person. Content planning, and this is where you guys don't be scared. This is how I plan out my content, and I literally plan out everything, including my stories. So what I do is I roughly plan out my entire week and write those 5 posts down. So you can see that I literally go in order. I've got my educational post, meal prep on a budget. I've got my story post, my struggles with nutrition. I've got my offer, how ideal clients can do this. I've got my offer again, and then I'm hitting those pain points of, you know, target break rooms, spending food, yada, yada, yada. And then on Sunday, I'm doing another like meal prep grocery kind of thing. To remind myself what pain points to hit at the end of the week here, I write all the pain points so I can make sure, okay, in this post, I've hit this pain point. In this post, I've hit that pain point, to make sure I've hit them all. And then I roughly write down what I'm going to talk about in my stories. And this doesn't always plan out because I can't talk on my stories at work too much, but at least I know what I'm talking about. And when I go on my stories, I go on there with intention. I'm not just blabbing. I know what I'm talking about, and I know what I've already told my people and what I haven't told them yet. And then the easy part is content scheduling with Planoly. So I write down all of my posts. I upload the pictures to Planoly via my phone, so I can just upload them to the app. I check my Instagram insights to see what time my audience is on Instagram, so I can post at those times so that more people are going to see it. And then I just schedule my posts for the week. So I really want to give you guys a quick little rundown of what this calendar looks like in real life. So I'm going to share my content. So this is the one I made for August, and I just sat down and typed the whole thing out. Maybe it took like an hour. Like, it's not rocket science, you guys. It's a lot of recycling of things because you'll need to say things a couple of times before it's going to resonate with people. Plus, not everyone is going to see all of your posts. So don't think you're going to sound like a broken record. Just say things over and over and over. So as you can see, week 1, that nutrition offer that I said, that's what my focus is week 1, and I'm hitting food pain points. Week 2 and 3, I'm focusing on my morning meltdown accountability group, and I'm focusing on pain points such as scheduling and working out. And then week 4, I'm focusing on my energize, and so my pain points are really going to revolve around energy and motivation. And then, like I said, I schedule out all of my posts and then all of my stories. Now, to take it another thing further, this is my content calendar dashboard. Need more energize. This is where all of my inspiration for posts come from. And again, I recycle a lot of my posts. Like, you don't need to reinvent the wheel every single week that you're talking about nutrition. Just rewrite the post you did, 4 weeks ago about nutrition. So my 5 big categories that I post about are my story, my nutrition, fitness, my life, and then the coaching opportunity. And those are really the big, like, weeks worth of content that I focus on. And then I pick one of the things, so like, let's say nutrition, and then I create those 5 posts that I talked about earlier. Then I go to Planoly. I pick a picture that I want to schedule. I just write out the post right here in Planoly, which, cool little tip, you guys, you can save hashtags. So hashtags help with visibility, not really finding client, but just having more interactions with your post. So I can add whatever hashtag I want, and then I just schedule it for whatever time and date that I want. And then the entire week, usually I post it out. So as you can see, I've already done 2 days this week because I started like 10 minutes before this call. And then I just finished a week and I'm all done. And that is pretty much it for scheduling. Do you guys have any questions? I know that was really fast. I talk really fast.
That was amazing. I feel like everybody's like kind of shocked. But yeah, that is like, I don't even want to say like over the top. It's just like it makes things so much simpler in your life.
Absolutely.
I love that it's intentional, because one of the biggest things I hear from new coaches is, and reasons why they don't post is because they say, I don't know what to post. And so this just like really, really simplifies, like, write out your story, pick what, like the 5 topics of what kind of post it's going to be. And it really takes the guesswork out of all of it, and especially knowing exactly who you're talking to. And I think one of my biggest like focuses this past week, that something that's just come up a lot, is because I watch Gary Vee, but just not giving a fuck what anybody thinks, and like not caring about the judgment, because when you do that, like, you're going to be successful, because then you can run faster. And I think so many people like don't post something because they overthink it, and like this just makes it so freaking simple. I love it. Aleysha, will you talk really quick about, you use, because all of your flow is really good with your pictures too. And I feel like that's something that newer coaches maybe, and I feel like everybody, I even struggle with it sometimes. So talk a little bit about what kinds of pictures you're posting and how you edit them.
Yeah, okay, so first of all, what you really want to focus on is what kind of pattern do you want in your pictures? Do you want a color pattern? Do you want, like, a phrase every so many pictures? It doesn't matter what kind of pattern you want. You just got to pick one and stick with it. So I change mine usually a couple times a year, filter-wise. So if you look at my things, you see a lot of pinks and a lot of greens. That's just because I own a lot of pink clothing, and there's a lot of green grass around me. Like, it's not rocket science, but because I know that, I try to include a little bit of that in every single one of my pictures so that they all connect together. Mm-hmm. Then what I do is I upload them to Visco, and it is $20 a year for the app, but I take one filter and I apply it to every single picture. So some of them are going to look a little bit weird. Which one was it? This one, I thought it was a little bit weird. Just the colors look weird, and my face is really spaced out. So that one I'm just not going to use. But really keeping that consistency, not changing up your filter every single picture, playing around until you find one that works in different lighting, and then just sticking to it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know I used Visco for a really long time, but I found myself like using the same filter, but then in order for them to like match up, I had to change stuff every time. So I ended up switching over to Lightroom, and I just bought 2 filters on Etsy for like $5. So that is like one of my biggest tips for new coaches is please make your life simpler by just buying a freaking filter, whether it is purchasing the $20 for the year to use Visco or purchasing a filter on Etsy. Like, they're so cheap. They're literally like $2 a filter. So make your life so much simpler by picking a filter. And like she said, do it for a little while. If you don't like the vibe, if it doesn't really like work with what you like, change it up. Like they're super cheap. I have a couple. I'm probably I love that you said the season change too, because I definitely am probably going to change mine up here soon because of just it's going into fall and everything.
To have a lot of natural lighting, because so many of your pictures are going to flow nice. So you can see some of the ones that are inside. You can see that almost look orange because there's not the same natural lighting that I have in others. So take photos facing your window. Like,
yep, lighting is the faux show. And that's why I always say, like, when people are like struggling with like content pictures, I'm like, just literally walk outside. Like, walk outside, stand next to a tree.
Like, you guys, the picture like where I'm wearing the red tank top and I'm flexing. My phone was on the ground against the rock, and people were staring, but I just flexed and took a picture.
Yep. And I love that I love that you said that because on one of my pictures that I posted, it was the one where I'm like kicking in the mirror. One of my friends commented, she's like, I'm trying to find out like where the phone is. Guys, I've gotten really, I know that, Aleysha, you have a tripod, right?
No,
No, I don't.
I
Okay,
have
so
a
I don't
ring
either.
light,
And
and I
like,
don't
I just
use
have
the
gotten,
tripod
yeah,
part.
I just set mine up against my water bottle and I get hella creative. But
Yeah.
do what you got to do to get it done. Like, mess around, take however many pictures, and get outside. Call a friend, call a coach friend. There's definitely somebody in your area, and go take some pictures one day. Take a few outfits. So one question that Danny said is, do you ever feel like it's too repetitive?
So one thing I really quick want to throw out there is I did a poll on my Instagram maybe like 2 weeks ago, and I asked people personal questions about me that I've mentioned 100 freaking times. Most people got them wrong, which tells me is people aren't listening to your content. They're not seeing all of your content. Out of like 10 posts, they might see one. So you need to repeat yourself for people to hear you. And
Yeah.
even if they see every single one of your posts, there's a reason they're looking at every single one of your posts, and they need to hear it.
Yes, I posted in the chat, marketing is literally telling the same story 100 times over, just tweaking it every single time.
Yeah,
You're gonna, I mean, if you go back through like my Instagram, guys, I've been coaching for a minute now, like, and I love that Instagram and Facebook have the like memories because I can literally repurpose like my posts. I can literally like copy and paste and repurpose my post, tweak it a little bit if I have to, but that's the beauty of be here a year from now, because that just like takes away, like then you get to use it again. So no, it's not repetitive. You have to talk to those people because if that's your person, I'm gonna talk to you over and over and over and over
I
again.
save all of my posts in that same Excel document, just in a different sheet at the bottom here, so I can repurpose it next month.
Yeah. Oh, and when you said the poll thing, that is really, really smart, guys, because we do want to provide value to people. And so we can ask them, like, what do you specifically struggle with? So if it is like, if you're talking about nutrition, is it meal planning? Is it grocery shopping? Like, figuring out what your people actually need.
Exactly.
I love all of this. This is like amazing. If you can share whatever you can share in the team page, I would love that because I think everybody could use this. Is there any other questions, guys?
Yeah, polls are awesome, you guys. And one tip I have for polls is do them a lot and make a lot of them fun because you're teaching your audience to reply to the fun ones. And then when you put in a Beachbody one or nutrition one or whatever, they're already programmed to respond to your polls and they're going to respond to them more. So throw out fun ones like guacamole, yes or no. Cats, yes or no. Like make them fun and then throw in a business one.
Yeah, I do. I did a kiwi one, and I got a lot of votes on that. Like skin on or skin off. Yeah, literally, you can put a poll on anything. People just love to speak their opinion. So.
Mm-hmm. And like the poll, where like when I asked a lot of questions, the only thing my people got right was the name of my cats. They literally didn't even know what degree I had. They didn't know anything about me. They
Yeah.
didn't know where I worked, but they knew the names of my cats. So like
Yeah.
people know the fun stuff.
And that's like another thing with talking about if you're repetitive or not. Like you're constantly gaining new followers too, so you have to take that into consideration, that all of these new people that you're gaining every day, like you have to tell them their story, tell them your story. All right, Aleysha, can you stop sharing your screen and we'll take a picture real quick, and if there's no more questions, we'll just take a picture, take this information. Alicia's going to post it in the team page, so I really want you guys to take action on this because yes, it's awesome to hear all of this information, but if we don't take action, it's not going to do anything for us. So I'm definitely going to, and I feel like this is going to help with the craziness of life, is be more intentional. Like I said, this week I'm inviting hardcore to the new round of the boot camp, so I can really dial in who I want in there and go off from the educational, aspirational offer, like actually having an idea for my post.
And that's like really important for challenge groups too, you guys, because if you just have random people in your challenge group, they're not going to talk to each other. But if you have all these people that have that common factor, they're going to relate to each other, and your challenge groups itself just will be so much more fun and so much more interactive.
Yes. And then once you have that, those people are going to turn into coaches because they really see the benefit of the community. So I love that. Okay, let's take a quick picture. Smile. Cute. All right, I love you guys so much. Thank you so much, Aleysha. That was freaking amazing. I can't wait to see all of your stuff in Excelsior so we can use it and take action on it this week. Let's go hard, guys. Like, it is already the 11th. There's people out there that freaking need us, and just keep showing up and showing people how capable they are through your story. I've definitely seen like an increase of people like watching my stories just because my life is like crazy. People are interested in your crazy life, which we might think is like, seriously, like people are interested in your life, no matter how boring or like if you're doing crazy things, like just share it all, and just keep failing forward with this whole topic of post and everything. Don't look at this and be like scared and be like, okay, well now I can't do anything because I'm not as like organized, or like, just take it as a lesson. Pick out one thing that you learned from tonight and implement it this week. And then pick out another thing and implement it. So maybe your first thing is just simply a filter to simplify your life. Maybe the next thing is actually figuring out who you're posting to. Actually, that should really be your first. But seriously, it's the little tiny, just simple changes that make the biggest difference. So I love you guys. Thank you for jumping on tonight and making this a priority. I will talk to you later this week. Let's freaking slay. Thank you, Aleysha. Bye, guys.
Thank you, guys.